friends, welcome to EduTab. So welcome to this particular video wherein we are going to have a discussion regarding important MCQs from the Union Budget 2019-20. It is an interim budget which is presented by the government. So friends, the entire budget we are going to cover it in the form of MCQs, and in this particular part we shall discuss 10 MCQs. Now these MCQs are going to be relevant for all your examinations like RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A and SEBI Grade A 2019 examination, right? So friends, first of all, quickly telling you about the results that we have produced. So 2017, we saw that for RBI Grade B, there were 27 final selections, NABARD Grade A 11. In 2018, RBI Grade B 72, NABARD Grade A 26. And in 2018, the SEBI Grade A results are out and we are getting the responses from our students. So we shall update the numbers regarding this very shortly. And for IBPS AFO, the interview calls that our students got was 100 plus. So friends, the individual courses that we offer for 2019 are RBI Grade B, SEBI Grade A, NABARD Grade A, RBI Assistant and IBPS AFO. We also offer combo courses, RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A, SEBI Grade A. There's also a combo RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A, SEBI Grade A and RBI Grade B also can be bought as a combo. And finally, we also have a combo for NABARD Grade A and SEBI Grade A. So we also have launched a new course for all banking examinations that is called QRE course, and the components that it covers is quantitative aptitude, reasoning ability and English. So friends, now coming to question number 1. So in the Union Budget 2019-20, the government has given a layout of their vision for 10 most important dimensions for India of 2030. Now, which of the following is not one of these dimensions, right? So friends, in the Union Budget, the government has laid down a very detailed vision. I would say 10 important dimensions have been mentioned for how would India look like by the year 2030, right? So now we will see that the question stands for regarding which one of the following is not one of those dimensions. Okay. Now the options are building of physical as well as social infrastructure, expanding rural industrialization, aiming at the outer skies, healthy India, or none of the above. Okay. Now the first thing, friends, the question says not one of those dimensions. This is important. Okay. So just read the question whether it is not or the other way around. Okay. So friends, now when you solve this question, in case you haven't heard about this important information, what you should do is you should start thinking, okay? See, I would say that most of you would make a mistake wherein you might eliminate aiming at the outer skies, okay? You might think that this cannot be, or this is having the least probability to be included in the 10 dimensions that the government thinks, okay? But that is not the case. So that is why this question I have specifically mentioned the third option, that is aiming at the outer skies. So building of physical and social infrastructure, this we would definitely go by. Expanding rural industrialization, yes. Then healthy India, obviously. Okay, so where you will get confused is between option 3 and 5. Okay, so now let us see the answer. So the answer for this particular question, friends, it is none of the above. That means the option 3, that is aiming at the outer skies, is also one of the dimensions that the government has laid out. Okay. So friends, here the Union government in the interim budget has proposed an India where poverty, malnutrition, littering and illiteracy would become a matter of the past. Okay. So for that, it has come out with 10 dimensional vision for India of 2030. Okay. Now these are the dimensions that are there. First dimension, it is regarding building of physical as well as social infrastructure. Now they've specifically mentioned for a $10 trillion economy and to provide ease of living. So this also can sometimes be a probable question. Okay. So you need to make note of this as well. The second dimension, very easy, digital India. We are always stressing upon digital India. So this is very easy to remember. Third dimension, friends, it is making India a pollution-free nation with green Mother Earth and blue skies. The fourth dimension, expanding rural industrialization using modern digital technologies to generate massive employment. Fifth dimension, clean rivers with safe drinking water to all Indians, sustaining and nourishing life, and efficient use of water in irrigation using micro irrigation techniques. Sixth dimension, India's coastline and ocean waters powering India's development and growth. So it talks about coastline and basically you can link it with blue revolution to a certain extent. Okay. Seventh dimension, it aims at the outer skies. Eighth dimension, making India self-sufficient in food, exporting to the world to meet their food needs and producing food in the most organic way. So basically you can link sustainable development here also. You can link self-sufficiency in food, export promotion. So all these things coming under eighth dimension. Ninth dimension, a healthy India, which would be aiming at health society with an environment of health assurance and support of necessary health infrastructure. So basically the key word out here, healthy India. 10th dimension, obviously it is regarding building of Team India. So when you talk about Team India, it is the government employees that would act as a proactive and responsible bureaucracy, and they would be seen as these are friends of people. Okay, so these are the important 10 dimensions. Make sure you understand these dimensions. They can be very simple questions wherein you just need to eliminate or choose the dimensions given as part of the vision plan, right? Now question number 2, what has been the total allocation made towards the health sector in the interim union budget 2019-20? So friends, whenever you talk about budget, the first thing that you need to make sure is the important allocations. Now these allocations can be split in the form of sectors, okay, wherein we take the important sectors and see the cumulative allocation made towards it. Secondly, it can be in the form of two specific schemes and programs. Okay, now it's not possible for us to remember the allocation made to all the schemes and programs, but at least we can have a fair idea regarding the important ones. Okay. So the answer for this particular question is option number 3, that is rupees 61,398 crores. Okay. So this is a factual question, not much to understand, just you need to know the figures, right? So the answer for this particular question, friends, it is 61,398 crores. So we can see that the allocation has increased. It has seen a 16% increase when you compare it with the previous budget session, that is 2018-19. Okay, so importance given to the health sector. So coming to question number 3, friends, so it says what has been the outlay in the interim union budget 2019-20 for ABPMJAY. Okay, now it is Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana health insurance scheme. Now friends, understand one point here, they would give you in the same way, they will not elaborate or they will not expand the scheme name for you, so you need to be aware about the short forms as well, right? So the answer is very easy, it is 6,400 crores. Again, a factual question, nothing much to understand about it. You just need to memorize these numbers. So friends, let us just extrapolate and understand about Ayushman Bharat as a program. So we can just see the first point, we have already seen the allocation, right? Now basically when you talk about Ayushman Bharat, it is a very progressive step that the government has taken, and there are various aspects that the government is looking at. Okay, so basically you can see here, it is a progression that is taking place towards promotive, preventive, curative, palliative and rehabilitative aspects of universal health care. Okay, so basically they are covering all the dimensions. You can say the initial care, the aftercare, the precautions that you need to take okay, and the amount of support that even the elderly people in our country need. So all these kind of care which is related to health is talked about under Ayushman Bharat scheme. Okay, and how is this going to be implemented? So they have spoken about two important components. Okay, so we shall see those components as well. So friends, let us have a look at these two components that we were talking about. So component 1, basically it talks about the creation of 1.5 lakh health and wellness centers, right? And basically they are coming out with a plan wherein these centers provide comprehensive primary health care, okay, which includes both maternal and child health services along with non-communicable diseases to the population. Okay, so you can say from grassroots level we need to connect people to these facilities. Okay, these would also include free essential drugs, diagnostic services, right? So only when these facilities is being provided to the public can we fulfill our bigger dream of making India a healthy nation, right? Which is, you can link it to the first question that we were seeing, the 10 dimensions. One of those dimensions was a healthy India, right? Then coming to component 2, friends. So the second component is called Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, right? Now this is again a very important component which seeks to provide health protection cover to poor and vulnerable families. Now this is for secondary and tertiary care. So here you can see that when you talk about these health and wellness centers, these talk about the primary health care. Okay, and the second component basically looks after the secondary and tertiary care. Okay. Now the fourth question, friends, when was the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana launched? Now let me tell you, whenever you talk about a particular scheme, there is a chance that the exact launch date also might be asked. The place where it is launched, such questions can also be expected in the paper. Okay. Now the answer for this particular question, very simple, 23rd of September 2018. Again a factual question, friends, nothing much to understand. So here exact place, if you want to know, it was launched at Ranchi, Jharkhand. Okay. Now question number 5, friends, which of the following statements is or are incorrect with regard to Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana? So 2 points again here. The first thing is you need to be very sure about, is it correct or incorrect? So this is very important. The second thing that you need to look out for is, obviously, as I told you, you will be given only the short forms. Okay. So let us read these statements. The first one says, a cover of rupees 5 lakhs per family per year would be provided for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization. Yes, this particular statement is true. So a cover of rupees 5 lakh is going to be provided per family per year also, and also for these purposes, right? So this is not our option. Second one, over 10.74 crore vulnerable entitled families, that sums up to nearly 50 crore beneficiaries, will be eligible for these benefits. Yes, this was also explicitly mentioned as targets. Third one, there is a restriction on the family size, allowing only families consisting of 7 members to be covered under the scheme. Okay, so basically they are saying that there is a restriction. You can only include those families who have members up to 7. If there are more members, then they would be excluded from this particular scheme. And here you can see that it is per family. Okay, now we need to see whether the statement is correct. So let us hold on. We have no information yet. The beneficiaries would be identified using the socio-economic caste census data for both rural and urban areas, and it would also cover the active families under the Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, right? So let me tell you that yes, the beneficiaries would be identified using the source that you can see on your screens, okay? Plus the existing or active families under the RSBY scheme would also be covered. So we are left with option 3. So yes, the correct answer is 3. Okay, let us see why. Let me tell you, there is no restriction on the family size. Okay, friends, so that's why this statement is incorrect, and that is why it becomes a correct option for us. So here you can see 5 lakhs per family per year. So taken, yes, this is true. Again 10.7 crore, again true. No cap on family size and age. Okay, so this is again very important point. Okay. So it will provide cashless and paperless access to services for the beneficiary at the point of service. So whom and all it targets? The poor, deprived rural families, okay, and identified occupational category of urban workers families. Again, the source is given SECC for both rural and urban areas. Plus, as we just now saw, the active families under RSBY scheme as well, right? Moving to question number 6, friends. In which of the following states in India was the first health and wellness center inaugurated by the union government under the Ayushman Bharat program, right? The answer for this particular question is Chhattisgarh. As I told you, sometimes the first center, the place of launch, the date of launch, all these parameters become very important. Now here we can see that the first health and wellness center was launched at Jangla, Bijapur in Chhattisgarh on 14th of April 2018. Okay. Now we have already seen this is one of the component health and wellness centers of Ayushman Bharat program. Right. So we have seen the second component as well, that is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Right. Coming to question number 7, friends, how many health and wellness centers are to be inaugurated by the year 2022 under the Ayushman Bharat program? So by now, if you are listening carefully to the discussion, you should be in a position to give me the answer for this. So the answer for this particular question, friends, it is 1.5 lakhs. Okay, so we just now saw the targets of the various components, the two components that we discussed. So here you can see target to transform nearly 1.5 lakh primary health centers and sub-centers as health and wellness centers. So it is not just new, but even the existing primary health centers would be transformed such that they are able to provide comprehensive and quality primary care. This is very important, friends. Not only the facility, but also the quality care is important, right? So if you talk about the latest data, okay, this will change as the months pass by, but the nearest one that is available with us is as on 4th Feb 2019. There are around 8,000, very specifically 8,030 health and wellness centers that have become operational in 35 states and union territories. Coming to question number 8, friends, what has been the allocation that is made for setting up of Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers under the National Urban Health Mission? Okay, so again, these were some of the allocations that were mentioned in the interim budget. So that's why the mention here also becomes important. The answer for this particular question, it is 250 crore. Okay, very easy. Again, memory based. You just need to memorize it. Nothing can be understood from it. Now coming to the ninth question, what has been the allocation made for setting up of Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers under the National Rural Health Mission? The previous question was regarding urban component, and now we are having a look at the rural component. So the answer for this particular question, friends, it is rupees 1350 crore. Now, the last question for discussion in this particular session is as per the strategy for New India at 75 document, which is released by the Niti Aayog, what has been the public funding of health in terms of an approximate percentage of GDP? Now, friends, let me tell you that this information was not given directly in the budget, but since they were talking about increasing the expenditure as a percentage of GDP on health, and as we have already seen that Healthy India forms one of the 10 dimensions that the government has specified for India of 2030. Okay, so that is why it is important to know what is the existing scenario when it comes to the government spending on health sector. Okay, so that is why, as we know that there is a recent document which was released by Niti Aayog. Okay, so that document is strategy for New India at 75. Okay, now in that particular document they have specifically mentioned about the public funding of health in terms of approximate percentage of GDP. So that is why having an idea about this information is again important. Now the answer for this particular question, friends, it is 1.3% of your GDP is your public funding of health or spending on health, right? We need to improve that. And now what you can also do is you can actually refer the national health policy which was brought out in the year 2017. Okay, so there if you see there is a target that the government has set in. Okay, that is you need to increase your government spending as a percentage of GDP to how much. Okay, so that is something which I would leave to you guys so that you can understand and come out with that particular data. So this is a kind of a little homework that you can do. So here again you can see here that we have just taken exactly from what is given in that particular document. Okay. Further, there are some pointers that are there that the out-of-pocket expenditure is 62% of the total expenditure on health. Okay, and there's also other data, NSSO 71st round. Out of that, in that data, they say that out of the total out-of-pocket expenditure, 63.5% is an outpatient care. Okay, so largest is on medicine. So you can see the scenario wherein these are the areas where we can actually avoid the huge amount of money that people actually have to give in. This leads to a condition which is also called poverty because they have nowhere to go, right? So you can see that there is an urgent requirement for the government to step in this particular sector, right? So friends, with this we have come to the end of part 1, and in case you have any queries, you can email us at hello@edutab.co.in. If you want to know about the courses that we offer, you can go to our website www.edutab.co.in. You can call us on the number 814-620-7241. So friends, thanks for watching, and as we always tell you, happy learning.